Um, Welcome to Tuesday night. I hope everybody had a great, Thursday night. Oh my gosh, it's Thursday already. Welcome to Thursday night. I hope everybody had a great week and you're ready for Friday tomorrow. We are looking forward to having a great show tonight. Like I said, this is Pageantry Now. We are all about positive pageantry and being able to highlight the great things that people in pageantry are doing to make a difference in the world. A lot of time in social media or on reality TV, you see the things that happen in pageantry that do not shine the greatest light sometimes on them, or see the remarkable things that title holders are doing all across the world. So our show is designed to be able to highlight positive pageantry and the differences these women are making everywhere. So every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, we will do shows where we invite these title holders to come on, chat, tell their stories, talk about what they are doing in their world to be able to make a difference and how they are doing that. And our special guest tonight is Lisa Hopkins, who's the reigning Ms. Elite Delaware. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Hey, Burgundy, glad that you're back. Looking forward to having you on the show on Tuesday night, so looking forward to that. Hold on one second. So, good. You're doing good. Hey, Magic Rabbit, thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. And I hope that everybody else, if you guys are fans, that you invite your other fans to come join us for the fun. We will be talking about some serious stuff tonight, but we will be having some fun talk too, because Lisa was at the Woman of Achievement pageant with me in California on Long Beach. I know. I can't wait. I'm so excited that you get to watch tonight too. Yeah, I know it's been on. Well, and I know you were messaging me the other night. We've been dealing with some stuff. We just bought a brand new car, so I've been trying to deal with all of that stuff, which is always fun and exciting. Being a grown up is way too crazy, and my business is growing, so I know a lot of people were kind of bummed because I'm not doing daily shows, but it's really hard to juggle having a business and being able to. Oh no, Nicole, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that we can be able to support you. So I hope that you can feel better, and that this gives you a safe place to be able to feel like you can have fun. So I'm hoping to see Lisa pop in just a second. So let me see, 1 second. Are you guys having problems with the connection? I know that some nights we have some issues because the server gets bogged down. So how does my sound? Does it sound? Bleh. How does my sound sound? Well, that was very repetitive. How does my connection sound? Is it laggy or does it sound good? Thank you for inviting your fans, Magic Rabbit. I appreciate it. Hold on 1 second. Yay! Yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice. I got a brand new car today, so it's really crazy. I went from a sports car to an SUV. Oh my gosh! I don't know. Does that mean I'm growing up? Because that's a highly overrated, uncomfortable. Good connection on your part. Good. Lisa's just having some issues clicking on, so hold on 1 second. The fantastic part about being live is that we never can control how things go, right, Burgundy? I guess the good thing with you, Burgundy, is that you're live for 30 minutes, but, I mean, you get bugs, but you can always go back and edit out the shows and be able to edit out anything that's not in there. I mean, I guess I could do that, but we're live, so... Oh, you stopped doing pageants? Yeah! Now, and I get it. I'm done. I'm retired. I am officially retired. I had some issues when we were in California, and you know. Oh, thank you, my love. Oh, you're so great. You always look phenomenal. Like, I was sitting really, really, really quickly doing my makeup, thinking, I need Burgundy's mom. Thank you, my love. There goes the crown. We always try to keep them on. I swear to God, we've talked about taping them to our heads. We've talked about, but you know what? Do me a favor. I'm gonna ask very politely this evening. We're gonna keep. I love you, Mom. I'm gonna ask that we keep politics out of the chat tonight if we can, and religion as well. We get a lot of so that everybody has an opportunity to be able to. All right. There! Oh, there she is! There she is! Ah! That was right! Where'd you go? Come back! You were on! Alright, hold on. I lost her. I had her for a second and then she popped out. Come back! Life is good. Hey, Sean! Sean! From over on the other side of the pond. I miss you, Bobby. What's up, girlie? Hey, Sambu, how are you? Whoa, we're glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Bob. What's up? Look at, we've got the brother and the sister on together. This is what you guys are doing. What's up, Haifa? How are you? We're glad you're here. Thank you. All right, hold on one second. Let me see. All right, I'm still seeing. How are you guys doing? Everything's good? I was going to ask you something really silly, but then you guys wouldn't be able to react to it. I was going to say, how was your Thanksgiving? But you guys don't celebrate Thanksgiving. We celebrate Thanksgiving. Oh. You guys are you guys are sharing. Thank you for sharing, guys. I appreciate it. You got out of a cold. And I saw you guys, I know that you guys had each sent me both messages on Twitter, and if I had one wish in the world, what would it be and why? Well, that one's kind of easy. It would be able to be on the Ellen DeGeneres show, because I think that she is amazing and she really inspires people to be their better selves and really joins the philosophy of be kind to one another. And I think that that's exactly what we should all do, and inevitably, hopefully, get world peace. You know, I would love that, Burgundy. You have no idea. Like, we actually wait till Lisa comes on. As Lisa and I will tell you the story. But it was this close to us being on Ellen when we were in California. So we'll talk about that. Hold on a second. Sorry, we're experiencing technical issues, but yeah, no, seriously, I really would love, I'd love to just be at the Ellen Show, everything that she stands for, everything that she believes in. I love the fact that she finds humor and uses humor as a way to be able to heal people, and she's generous and wonderful and real, and at the end of the day, that's what I strive to be. At the end of our shows, we always end the show with "be kind to one another," and I mean it very sincerely. Like, she really is one of, I mean, there aren't a whole lot of idols that I have in the world, but she's really one of the idols. And I've done some pretty amazing things, you know, over the years, and met some very fantastic, amazing people. And, you know, she's definitely there as one of the ones that would be definitely, that is the top of the bucket list, we will say. And look, we have Lisa.
Hey!
Yay!
Yay!
How are you?
I'm good, Stacy. How are you?
I'm doing great. You look beautiful.
Well, thank you. So do you.
Thank you. All right, so do me a favor. Introduce yourself to all of our friends, and tell us your name, your title, and what your platform is, okay?
Okay. I am Lisa Hopkins, Miss Elite Delaware, and my platform is Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Awareness.
Awesome. Yay! Well, we're so glad you're here. For those of you that don't know, Lisa and I competed at the Women of Achievement pageant almost 4 weeks ago in California, in Long Beach, California. And then Lisa and I got to have an adventure after pageant. And, I mean, it was quite an adventure during pageant,
Yeah.
but we got a fantastic opportunity to go to The Voice. So we went to The Voice. We got treated like, you know, semi-celebrities. I mean, we got to see all of the contestants. You guys got up close and personal with Blake while I was in the restroom. I missed it, so they got to say hi to him. I didn't get to. And
That was awesome, by the way.
it was awesome. It was fantastic. I mean, it really, and for those of you that watch The Voice, it is even more fantastic live and in person. It's like being at the best, you know, concert you could ever be at. And the thing that was really special about that particular night, it was the first night of the lives. So all of them were terrified, and you could see that they were, you know, going through probably some of the feelings that you and I were going through at pageant, you know, like, oh my gosh, I gotta get on stage and all these people are watching me. What am I gonna do? But you could see it. They were standing right next to us, getting ready to go off, you know, and go and compete. And so it was fun. I mean, then the next morning, actually, Burgundy is one of my pageant friends, and she's been on the show before, but she's going to be on the show on Tuesday night. And she asked me the question, if I had one wish in the world, what would it be and why? And what do you think? What is the one wish you think I have, Lisa? You probably know the answer to this.
To be on the Ellen Show.
Yes, it is. And that's exactly what I said to her. And she said, why? And I said, just because I think she stands for. Well, Lisa and I and one of the other delegates, Joy, the next morning after the Voice, I missed my flight. So we said, you know what? We're going to go try to get on the Ellen Show. And so we drove like crazy people to get to the Ellen Show. And we got there, and it turns out that they tell you that you can show up the day of the show and get on the show, but that's not true. And so Lisa used all of her powers for good and used her prayer chains and tried to get us on the show as much as she possibly could. And Joy, you know, started messaging, you know, the staff, letting them know, we are out here, please just let us in. And it didn't happen, and I believe that it didn't happen for a reason, and I'm okay with that. So, you know, but at the end of the day, that's the bucket list. If I can accomplish that, then, I mean, I feel like I change the world all the time, but that would be my way of being able to. So now the same question goes to you, Lisa. If you had if you had one wish in the world, what would it be and why?
Well, I have recently wanted to be on the TD Jake Show and been trying.
Yes. You've been trying, and you actually had an opportunity to be on it, and you missed out. So you're trying again, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. When the right time happens, that is it. And why do you want to be on the TD Jake Show? Tell me about why that inspires you.
To get my message out so other people can hear it, basically.
Great. Okay, and so tell us more about your platform and why you chose this as your platform. Hey, Caitlin.
We're kind of cutting in and out, so you can hear me okay?
I hear you fine.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll say hi to the people that pop in. So some of our
Okay.
viewers are watching. So I'll just like Caitlin, I haven't seen in a while. And again, guys, thank you so much. Please make sure that if you can capture moments, please do, so that we have these to be able to share. And then also, make sure you invite your fans. So please share so that your fans can join us too. So we're now 27 and girls. Look at that. Who runs the world, girls? Who runs the world, girls? Okay. All right. So your platform is?
Okay. My platform is on post-traumatic stress disorder awareness. And to be honest, I really didn't know that was my platform until about a month before going to the Women of Achievement pageant. So I knew I was going to talk. I've always known that my message is to hurting women. I realized a month before going that I have post traumatic stress disorder. I have suffered a trauma when I was young and it was blocked. So I have been going through the 5 stages of recovery and not even aware of it for a healing process. And so now I want to help others. Other people might be suffering with it too and not aware of it. So that's my message that I want to get out to other women who might be suffering the same thing.
And in most cases, for most people, you hear about post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, with respect to people that have gone to war or for people that have had a severely traumatic situation happen.
Correct.
And everybody immediately thinks, veterans and people that are coming back from Afghanistan or Iraq. But the truth of the matter is PTSD can affect anyone. And it can happen at any time. And many of us probably at different points in our time are going to be at one point or another suffering from something that has caused some type of traumatic event, so that you're not able to do things normally. Is no food in the house a traumatic situation? Well, if it's on a permanent basis, yes. But hopefully it's not. I know your dad, so I'm hoping that that's not a permanent situation. And by the way, Hypa, I wanted to do the yell out that you guys had chocolate instead of turkey. So I'm for the chocolate instead of turkey for Thanksgiving, because my friends Hypa GB and my friend Sean, oh my gosh, when my brain comes back, are both from Great Britain. So I went to ask how their Thanksgiving went, and then I went, no, wrong question. Okay, so I know that during pageant you were dealing with some of those stages of acceptance while we were actually going through pageant, and that was a pretty emotional experience for you. But can you tell us what the stages are that you have to go through to be able to start to heal and to help yourself start to overcome some of the issues with post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yes, Stacy. The first stage is the emergency stage. So that's the outcry. Your emotions are off the chart during this stage, and anytime you feel that you're in an intermediate danger, that's the emergency outcry stage. Stage 2 is the denial stage. A lot of people numb themselves. I personally think a lot of people are kind of stuck in the stage of the numbing stage. Um, then you then you have your repetitive intrusion stage, and that's where you have your nightmares or your flashbacks, triggers. It's like you're reliving that trauma over and over again. Then you go into transition stage, and this is the stage I believe that I am in right now. Transition stage is where this is when you've asked for help and you begin a healing process, and it's kind of like layer at a time, like peeling an onion.
Right.
And you just peel, the triggers are a layer. Each time you have a trigger, it's a layer and a layer until you get to that core root. And when you get to the core root is when you're ready to know what the severe of your PTSD is. Then after transition stage is your integration stage, and this is where you've learned coping skills to be able to address your PTSD symptoms, and then you're able to move forward in this stage. You will have maybe a little setback when you're under a lot of stress or you're having triggers, but here's where you've learned how to use your coping skills to be able to move forward.
That's great. So I know that there were a lot of triggers going on during pageant, and you were definitely dealing with a lot of emotional upheaval at the time.
Yes.
And I absolutely could relate. I felt like I was at the right place at the right time for whatever reason that was. That, if I wasn't there to win a crown, I was definitely there to be there with you. So I felt
you was
like
there for my healing, believe it or not.
and I'm so grateful for that, because
Yes.
those are the moments of pageant sisterhood that are so important. And I believe that we're here to build each other up, and that we're here to be able to support each other. And it really made me feel better, being able to share some of my experiences. I've been through several very traumatic things in my lifetime. And some of them I'm able to talk about, and some of them I'm not. I think that in most cases, I think probably the most severe PTSD that I'm comfortable with talking about was after I got hit by the truck. I was hit by a truck riding my bicycle, and for the longest time, loud noises of hearing traffic go past me, loud truck sounds, seeing a truck scared me. I couldn't cross a street. Like, crossing the street was terrifying. And I got to a point. Thank you, Miranda. We appreciate that. That's awesome for sharing. We appreciate it. And I finally had to get to a point where I realized that it was keeping me from living everyday life. It was so crazy that I couldn't walk across the street to my mailbox. So I finally said, okay, that's it. We need to go into therapy. And sometimes people are not okay with therapy. Sometimes it's not the way to go. Sometimes it's not what helps people through it. In my particular case, I was very lucky because I had a great therapist, and I am a therapist. So I knew what my mind issues were. It was just trying to get out of those mind issues. It's hard to get away from the triggers. Hey, Heathcliff, how are you? And realize that that one situation didn't define the rest of my life. So after 5 sessions, all of a sudden I finished with the session. I looked at the therapist, said, okay, I'm good. And then walking across the street was no big deal. I still have some moments, even though I've integrated and that I've dealt with it. There are still moments where if I hear a loud truck, or if I'm walking by a really busy street, where I go, and my husband just goes, it's okay, it's all right. So how are you dealing with things right now? I know that before pageant, you had started to go into therapy and started talking about it a little bit. And I know during pageant, some of those emotions you were feeling was really making you deal with situations right away. But where are you at right now that you're home in a safe environment and you're getting support?
Well, first of all, I want to say that the group of women at Women of Achievements was a safe place for me to have a huge trigger. Very supportive women, and I don't think I could have had, the trigger without their support. But I've come back. I've had, it's funny because I had a trauma counselor that I had one session with before I went to the pageant. And we had already set up a session after I came back, which was very well needed. I had been doing counseling for years. I didn't have recollection of a trauma until about 18 years ago because I had blocked my whole childhood. So for 18 years, I've been peeling that onion. But at the Women of Achievement, I was to the roots, and I really didn't know what was going on until after I think what the day after, Stacy,
Day after
or
pageant, yeah.
the day after the pageant. I had a huge trigger, and it was really, I think, because I had done all the other stages, I was now ready.
Ready to start work.
Trying to sort it all out since I've been back. I've kind of went into a major deep depression, and but I'm seeking the counselor and trying to still put some pieces of the puzzle together, but it's all kind of coming together, and it was a huge kind of breakthrough being at the pageant, and you, Stacy, played a huge part in that breakthrough.
Thank you. Well, I was grateful for you. And Miranda, just to let you know, that's fantastic that you're working your master's in counseling. Feel free to ask questions if you want to, or interject anything. Again, if anybody wants to ask questions of Lisa or I, either about the Women of Achievement pageant or about our platforms, please ask in chat, and I will ask them out loud. Make sure that the questions are not political and they're not religious, and that they are PG. The reason being is that we have children that are on that are as young as 13, so we want to be able to make this a safe place for people to be able to be, and we also want this to be a positive sharing space. So we don't take bullies here, so if you're here to not be nice, unfortunately I will have to block you. So those are some of the rules of the show, and I'd just like to say that ahead of time. But we're glad you're here, Miranda. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for inviting your friends. I know that Joy was super, super helpful with you guys when you guys were roommating, and then you guys took me kind of you literally took over where my friends were not there. While I was at pageant, I ended up having to go to the hospital, and I was having some issues with my heart. And I was really afraid to be by myself because my husband wasn't there, and Lisa and Joy absolutely took me under their wing, and they went, "That's okay, you're with us, we're good, we got you." I felt like a little bird going, "Okay, I'm safe now." So it worked both ways. It was great and healing, and we had fun too. I mean, it wasn't like this catastrophic situation. I mean, we had moments where I think we were all very emotional, but I think that we all came back from Women of Achievement feeling like we'd made great friends, we'd made great relationships, and that we had these amazing moments that we wouldn't have had if we hadn't have eased into discomfort, because putting yourself out there in a pageant is a pretty big way to be able to share your story. And it's a huge step to, I call it easing into discomfort, because I learned it from some friends of mine that do motivational speaking. But that moment where you go, okay, I'm at the edge of the cliff and it looks, oh no, I'm not going to go. Oh, why not? Just jump. It was the right moment at the right time. So I'm grateful that we had that moment and we were able to be there to support each other. So
Yeah, that was my first pageant in 31 years.
See, my crown's falling too.
Yeah.
How's yours staying on? Mine doesn't stay on.
It's actually staying on. I can't believe it.
I try really hard, and then it gets like, I'll make a head tilt and I go sideways. Okay.
Yeah,
So anyway,
I'm holding my head still.
it's like I have very good posture today. So, all right. So, for someone that thinks that they might be going through PTSD, or that they may have had something that they feel like maybe they're blocking. And Miranda, you might be able to offer some information on this as well. What do you suggest to them, Lisa, to be able to help them through that moment of where they're about ready to start to have some feelings that maybe they're not comfortable with, or they're about to have some triggers that maybe they haven't dealt with, or start to have, it's almost like little pieces of memory coming back a little bit at a time. It's like a fuzzy TV screen that all of a sudden starts to get pictures, and then it goes away, and then it comes back, and then it goes away.
Yes.
And they come in little teeny tiny pieces. Is that a pretty good, I mean, I know for me that's how it's been. Is that kind of the same way for you?
Yeah, mine has been, I keep telling somebody I'm putting a big 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle together. And I'll get a piece here and a piece there, but then I still can't see the full picture. And then I'll get a
Right.
piece there, and then it's like there's still something missing. And like I said, I did not have any recollection at all until about 18 years old. In my early 30s, I'm almost 50 now. So
No, you're
um,
not.
yes, my next birthday, I'll be 50,
I
which
turned
is,
50. I turned 50 and a half today.
oh, 50 and a half. Oh, well. Well,
Today's
in
my
a month from now, I'll be 50. But
what?
anyway, I started seeking counseling, when because at first I thought I was crazy. It's like, and that's why I want to help people, because especially the ones who's blocked theirs, because when you've got it blocked and you can't get the support of your family, it's hard because you feel like you're crazy, but you're not crazy. And
Right.
that is the message I want to get out. And so if you start having memories or triggers, they're somewhat called triggers, you seek help. There's there I go to a shelter every Monday night. I've been doing it for 6 years, and I can go as long as I need it. And so I'm still going 6 years later. But um, there's other shelters all over the world, and I'm sure they have groups too. There's all kinds of counseling. You can call me. I'm available anytime one needs to talk. But basically, if you have a real severe trauma, then it might take a while. Like with me, it's been going on for 18 years, and I think I just got to the root, to the core root, at the pageant.
Right. Right. No, I know. I mean, with me, I think the one I don't talk about a lot, um, and I'm going to say, aside from the accident, this is the most significant trauma of my life. I was raped when I was 5. But I had blocked out all of those memories uh, until I was 35. So I was diagnosed with terminal cancer at 30, which is a pretty dramatic thing. But as I started to
Yeah.
talk about my cancer survivorship, I started to have those little memories pop back in my head, things that I had compartmentalized. So I'd put it in a box and I'd put it in the back of my head and I'd closed it off, and I didn't remember it. And it was like watching this really weird movie that it would like show little pieces of it, and I go, that didn't happen. No, no, no. There's no possible way that happened. And then once the memory started flooding, and I started like really getting a full memory of it, it was like, oh, okay, this really happened. And I went into counseling again, and it made a lot of things in my life make sense. That for so long, I'd gone 30 years without having any of these memories at all, because it was horrifically traumatic. And and of course it was embarrassing for me to say anything.
Yeah.
With something that dramatic, you don't just walk around and say, yeah, our next door neighbor raped me for an entire summer, and I was 5 when it started. So, and then so many other things in my life made sense, like little pieces of stuff, that those little puzzle pieces started to click in, and I went, oh, now I understand.
Yes,
But
that's exactly how it happened.
and it's terrifying. It's terrifying because I agree with you. There were moments where I thought I was making it up. There were moments where I thought I had lost my mind and this was something that I had made up in my head, until like it started happening over and over and over again, and then the pieces of the movie became longer.
Yeah.
So, I have to say that I applaud you. I applaud you for being so strong especially in a time when you're going through such turbulence and having to be so raw, because as the onion peels, you get more and more raw. It's like the outside of the onion is really, really thick, but the more you take off of the layers, the harder, the softer the inside is, and the more emotional it is. So, you really put yourself out there in a moment where you were really raw. And for those of you that don't know, with Women of Achievement is based on the beauty from inside out. It's not your typical beauty pageant. It's about our platforms, and about our platform is our passion, sorry. And so the areas of competition are a little bit different than your typical pageant that you might see on TV. We have personal interview. We have a platform presentation where we talk about our platforms and what we speak about. For Lisa, it's PTSD. With me, it's cancer grad, because I have graduated from having cancer. And I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of the things I do with it, so that's what mine is about. We have the opportunity to do either a speech or talent. In our case, Lisa and I both did talent, and whack job, me went first. So,
but it was meant for you to go first.
It was meant for me to go first. It was a little crazy for those of you that missed it. If you are on my Facebook page, you can see my rousing rendition of "Just Can't Wait to Be King." But I think it was a good way to get the crowd comfortable and to help. I believe at that moment I was meant to be there for you. I think that
I knew it when you said what you said before, why you were still at the pageant. You remember someone said that why are you still here, and you
right.
What you said. So and when I saw your little skit, and immediately it came to me, because I was a nervous wreck to get up and sing. I had not sung ever in front of people, judges, ever. That was why
Me neither. That was my first time too.
I know, but that's why I never did those type of pageants growing up. I always wanted to, but I was too scared to speak, too scared to sing. So I was literally nervous wreck, and her little skit gave me courage to get up there. And so I got up there and I sang after Stacey did her little courage skit.
Her voice was amazing. It was funny because you could hear in the beginning you were a little nervous. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I was either, but I didn't care. At that point, I was like, okay, go big, go home. I'm not going home, so we're doing this. So one way or another, it's going to happen, and I just went out and I had fun. With you, your song was so emotional. It was about what you're going through personally. So you could tell it was emotional, and you were nervous. And then at some point, all of a sudden, I think you looked over at me because I was sitting off to the side, and then your whole body language changed, and you just opened up, and you heard your voice blossom, and you saw and you heard how beautiful you felt at that particular moment.
I actually listened to it. It got recorded, and I listened to it, and I was even amazed.
It got recorded? That's awesome. I'm so glad.
It's on my Facebook page.
Oh, cool! I have to go look at it because I didn't realize it got recorded.
Joy recorded it. So I was actually amazed when I heard it.
Yeah, and it was fantastic. And honestly, and I think that was the thing. Almost everybody in the competition did speech competition for the pageant, and 7 of us did talent.
It was 6. I think.
6. And so when they were announcing the talent winners, the 6 of us are all standing there and we're holding hands. And it's one of my favorite moments from the pageant because none of us really cared if we won. None of us did. I don't think that any of us was thinking, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. All of us are like, we just love each other. Like there was a definite bond that I think that for us, we felt something that was different than everybody that did speech. And that's not to take away from anybody that did speech, because some of the speeches were amazing. I can't even begin to tell you how inspiring some of these women are. And you'll get to meet them on the show. They'll be on the show over the next several weeks, so you'll get to hear them speak and hear their stories. But, you know, it was just like the six of us just holding hands and going, okay, whatever happens is good. And I cheered just as loud for Julie and Elizabeth as if I had won or if anybody else had won. I didn't care. I was like, yes!
Well, I knew I wasn't expecting anything because I was just so nervous. I was just there to break through my fear. So.
But you did, and it was awesome. And that for me, that was my pageant bucket list item. That was the one thing I had never done. And then when I was done, I was like, okay. And then with Women of Achievement, we also have evening gown and sports or fitness wear. The evening gown and fitness wear are 15% each. Thank you for becoming a fan. And so, you know, we get to dress up and look beautiful, which was fantastic. So if you haven't gone to the Women of Achievement page, we have a teen program, a Miss program, a Ms. program, a Mrs. program, and then for those of us over 40, the elite divisions for any of the other ones. So, so you can go to womenofachievement.com. So, with that in mind, what was your favorite part of pageant?
Well, I was so nervous through the whole thing, so my favorite part was meeting all of you supporting beautiful women.
Oh, no,
You're
that's
like
true.
my new sisters for life now.
I know. It feels so weird because I feel like I need to talk to everybody every day, and I can't. And I'm like,
I think
hi
that's why I'm
guys.
depressed. When I came back, I went depressed. It was like, oh, I wish I was
Don't be
still
depressed. Come hang out with us here. Because she's a flight attendant, so she travels a lot. Hey, Kika, how are you? So it's hard for you to be able to log in but hopefully you can come on. I think, let me look at the calendar. I know I've got, it's really kind of frightening. On the 4th, this weekend, this Sunday, I'm actually live at the Miss Worldwide International Pageant, so I'll be live streaming that. So if you want to watch, you can watch the show.
Okay.
If you've got internet. And then on the 6th is Burgundy. On the 11th is going to be Beth from Oklahoma. On the 18th is going to be Kay. So a couple of the girls, and then I've got a couple of other title holders from different systems that will be on as well. So so look for those. And then now I know you can tell me about your pageant history because I know you did pageants before this, but it was a long time.
Yes,
I know. I need to fly soon and come and see you guys.
Yes, you do.
They live in London, so we need to get tickets to London, Lisa. How do we do that?
That is on my bucket list.
It's on my bucket list too.
Yes. Okay, so we got to do that together.
We do it together.
Yes, we'll do that bucket list together. Okay, so I was in pageants from age 4 to 18, and I had won a Little Miss Newbern pageant when I was in 6th grade, I believe. In the 8th grade, I won a Miss 4-H. I think it was Miss 4-H. But my dream was to win Fairest of the Fair, and I entered that pageant every year, and I'd get runner-up.
It was a lot. That was a long time ago. Fairest of the Fair was long forever.
Well, they still have them back in
Tennessee. I know.
But I did
crazy.
it. It took me. I wanted that crown. I didn't want runner-up or second mate. I was determined to win the crown, so I entered it every year, and I finally won it when I was 17 in 1984. And so that sent me to state finalists. And when I went to state finalists, it was a pageant like the Women of Achievement. And because of my post-traumatic stress disorder, which I didn't even know I had at that time, I kind of blew that pageant. And so I never went back. That was my last pageant. And so Women of Achievement was kind of a second chance for me because I had always wondered, like, well, what if I should have went back? And so the Women of Achievement pageant was like a second chance, like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go. And actually, the pageant was a trigger to the state finalist pageant because I remembered how I had felt during that and why I didn't continue to do them. But I'm determining to, I'm going to go back next year to the Women of Achievement. I'm not going to let, the same thing happen. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to bloom this year, and I'm going to go back next year.
You're gonna be great, and honestly, like that's what I've heard from a lot of Maddie. Hi, Genoa. Hi, Ivan J. Everybody's beautiful from the inside out. So don't ever. We say hashtag cancel when we see people making bad comments about themselves. If you learn to love yourself and you learn to believe in yourself and you use positive self-talk, you will find that you are beautiful no matter what. So please support yourself and say that you're beautiful to be able to be anything that you want. It's just what you set your mind to. Well, you know what? And honestly, I don't look like the typical model. I'm 5'4". I'm a size 16, and yet I am on the red carpet at Miss Universe and Miss USA and Miss Teen USA and competing in pageants. And you know what? I don't care what people think, and I don't care what people say. I care what I think and what I feel, and I feel beautiful. And that's the most important thing, and you just have to be able to internalize that. And that's not always easy to do. But I promise you, if you learn to love yourself, you will be a much happier person. So that's my tidbit of the day. So #1 fan, yay! I love you. I was doing the you. Sorry, I've been at the University of Miami most of the day today. Okay. But I think for a lot of people, like Kim was on our Ms. Elite National US was on Sunday. And the same thing for her too, is that she did pageants years ago, and this was like the second chance coming back. And I think for a lot of us, that whole idea of, okay, yeah, so we're 50, who cares? Like, why not? If you've got a bucket list, if you've got something you want to do, why not do it? And, age is just a number. Our dreams don't stop just because we get to a certain age. Our expectations for what we want in our life don't stop just because we get to a certain age. And the only person that limits us is us. So, you've got a whole year to rebuild and work through your layers and work through what you're going through and to really help build your platform. And I think that you're going to find that this is going to be a very emotional year, probably very roller coaster-like. But you're going to find that the person that you blossom into is going to be like so fantastic, and I think, that's what we have to kind of like look at and grow through. I haven't been in beauty because like no one's on beauty anymore, Maddie. Like everybody, there's like, I go on and then we're the only one on beauty, so I decided to do girls and just see what happens, see if we can get more people to be able to watch, because I want these title holders to get, viewers. I want them to get recognition. I want them to have people see what amazing things they're doing and how they're changing the world. So I figured, we'd step into the big girl, because when you do the show, so Lisa, you can go into a specific, genre. So #girls is the biggest of all of the stations that you can be in, and right now we're 21st out of like 100 and something stations right now. So I think that's pretty good. Whereas if we got on beauty, we always go to #1, but if there's only 6 people on the station, it's like, okay, great. How much exposure are we getting? Whereas now we're having a lot of people watch us and come in and say hi and check us out. And so that means your story gets highlighted more. So, and that's what I want for you guys. So, hey Burgundy, how are you? All right. So, do you feel that, I know you feel like this pageant changed you.
Well, it was a turning
hold on a second. Definitely a turning point. Definitely a new step in the right direction. Mama, I have some good news. I keep eating low-fat except for Christmas dinner. Oh, awesome! So you don't have to have it? People judge no matter what. Wherever you live, Ivan J. And honestly, it doesn't matter. I get judged all the time. And again, it's really easy to let your inner voice take over your world and let I say this a lot, Lisa, you've heard me say this. We say the worst things to ourselves that we would never say to our worst enemy. Don't let other people define you. Don't let other people's opinions make you who you are. They're just uncomfortable with who you are. Be comfortable with who you are, and it doesn't matter what they think. So, yay, no surgery. Just noticed, we're both in the same system. She's Ms. Elite Delaware, and I am Mrs. Elite Florida. We're in different... Yes, amen, Burgundy. It is all about being who you know me, girl. It's all about being who you are. And there's so much bullying that goes on out there, and it's really easy in today's world to bully people because you can do it blindly from behind a screen where no one knows who you are. And at the end of the day, I don't care what those people say. You know, I have people that'll come and chat and call me grandma, I'm like, really? I didn't know I had kids. You know, I kind of turn it around. I'm like, really? I have children? When did that happen? Because it's hard to have grandkids if you don't have kids. Anyways. And I'm older, and I get that, and I understand I'm not, the 16, 17-year-olds that are, I have my YOUNOW kids. I love you, man. Or I have people that'll come and call me fat or call me ugly, and it got to a point where if someone came on and said something mean to somebody in the show, my regulars would be all over them and be like, no, we don't say things like that in this show. Stop that. And that's what it's about. It's about supporting each other. That's what pageantry is all about. We have to be able to build ourselves up. And a lot of people have low self-esteem, and a lot of people are dealing with issues and traumatic issues that they don't know what they're dealing with. And so we're here to help give people a safe place where they can feel comfortable about who they are, and to be able to share their stories. And in this particular case, it's people in pageantry. And I want you guys to all know that, it doesn't change just because we're wearing a crown. So, oh, thank you, Burgundy. And Burgundy is an amazing role model. She has her own radio show. I've been a guest on her show. She is extremely articulate, has a list of pageant titles longer than I will ever be able to accomplish, and she's 24, 25. Graduated from Duke. She's got it going on. Hi, Mom. And her mom was watching too, so. Okay, so what do you think is the best thing about not just Woman of Achievement? What have you learned that's been the best piece of information about yourself through competing in pageants?
Well, I think it helped me to somewhat self-esteem. I'm not sure if I think when you have a traumatic thing that happened to you, it does lower your self-esteem. Right. And I loved what you said. It hit me when you said that the reason your mom put you in pageants, and it dawned on me that was what my mom had done as well. I think it does. Maybe not the first pageant you're in or the first couple, but I do believe that it does help. I think it helps you stay grounded. That's a big part of somebody that's gone through trauma, is you've got to learn to ground yourself. And so I think pageants is a good way of grounding. Y'all helped me stay grounded at that pageant.
Well, thank you. And we're going to continue to support you throughout the year. And it doesn't stop just because pageant is over. So, now pageant is over. We're, almost 4 weeks out. What are you going to do with your crown now? What are you going to do with your title? And how did your daughter participate in pageants, and how does your family feel about your pageant journey? Because you have a daughter, right?
I do have a daughter. Lisa? Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I have. So she's 26 right now.
Okay. So did she participate in pageants, and how does your family feel about your pageant journey?
Okay. My daughter did a few pageants growing up. She didn't really like them, so she she didn't do them as much as I did, and I didn't force her because she didn't want to. She supported my pageant now. She's got two little girls now herself, and so we put them in their first pageant this past year. It was a Ferris of the Fair. So if they
You
want to
did it with
continue,
them? Are you serious?
yes, they were in a Ferris of the Fair. The oldest girl is 5, and the youngest is 4, and they just did their first pageant. They were nervous, and I felt for them because I felt I could feel their
It was
pain.
just like 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, right. So, my family, I really didn't have much support from my family doing the pageant, and they really don't know what my platform is. So, um, I really don't know how to touch on that because
That's okay.
I
I mean,
don't
you
really
know, and
have much support from the family on my post-traumatic stress disorder.
well, you know, that's okay. I mean, but are they accepting of you doing the pageant, though? I mean, it's not so much
Yes.
whether they're accepting of your platform. I mean, your platform is something very personal, and so I know that it's a situation that you're not comfortable with talking to your family about, which I totally get. So I
Yeah.
totally can relate.
Yeah, they were all supportive of the pageant. I mean, of me going. They just didn't
Right.
really know what my platform was.
And that's okay. You know, that's okay. And then, you know, I think your platform is going to grow and develop and change over the next year. Now, you said you are definitely competing again next year.
Yes,
Yes?
I hope so.
Okay. And then, so what are your plans? So, if you compete again next year, will you know, try to branch out in doing more awareness for PTSD and be able to maybe speak at different venues or being able to speak at different events? I know that you said that you do go to a shelter and you do have a support group there, and that helps you speak as well. But
Yes.
but what's kind of like the plan of action, and what do you plan to do?
I do want to go speak at more places, maybe go to different shelters or find other places that I could go speak. I want to, last year I didn't really know what was going on. It was my first year and I really didn't know what I was doing. So now that I'm a little bit more aware, I want to venture out. I have talked to the coaches from our speakers that we had.
Right.
They had like free sessions, so I've talked to all 3 of them, and possibly going to try to work on a book right now.
Ooh, you know, I do have a friend that is a publisher, and they have an amazing deal where they will write the book for you, publish
awesome.
the book for you, and then start you on a speaking tour.
Oh, I need to hook up with that then.
Yes, and I can, and if I give you a special code, you get $500 off the whole price of it, and you can even crowdfund it. So, like, you could crowdfund it, like do an Indiegogo or a GoFundMe to raise the
Okay.
money.
Awesome. Yes, definitely
Yeah.
got to give me the information for that.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk. So anybody looking to
Okay.
do their own book, let me know. I will hook you up. This guy is amazing. That's what he does. So,
Awesome.
anyways, like I said, I think there's amazing stories out there that need to be told, and I know that you're still at those points where you're still dealing with a lot of it, But I know that the more that you talk about it and the more that you experience it, the easier it's going to be. So doing things
Yeah,
like this helps you.
talking is healing. You can't really heal until you talk, and forgiveness is a key too. You have to forgive the ones that hurt you.
That's correct. You know, I I I have had many people ask me how I can forgive, and I'm going, you know what? It's their journey, not mine. What happened to me is my journey, and I have to deal with it in my own way. And you know, that's just it. But that's forgiveness is divine. Forgiveness is divine. So,
Yes.
all right. So, what last things that you want to say? We've been on for about an hour, so I know you actually went somewhere to be able to use your friend's Wi-Fi, so I appreciate that. Tell me, what are your parting thoughts? What would you like to share with everybody about you, your title, and what you're doing with this?
Once again, I am here to get my story out. I'm here to anyone who wants to find me on Facebook, and I will if anyone thinks they're struggling with triggers or flashbacks or whatever and may have blocked it, I definitely want to help the people that are struggling in that area because you're not crazy. That's my big thing, is because for so many years I thought I was crazy, and it takes a lot to finally get to the point that you're not crazy. There are triggers, and it's because something did traumatic happen. So, once again, I'm Miss Elite Delaware, and my name is Lisa Calzert Hopkins on Facebook.
Do you have a page for the Ms. Elite Delaware already set up on Facebook, or no?
You mean like a page for Miss Elite Delaware?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah, do that. Do that. Set up a page for Ms. Elite Delaware. For you, you can use like the photo that you sent me that shows from the ad book, and then set up a page at your personal page, and then that way, if people want to get in touch with you, they can look up Ms. Elite Delaware Woman of Achievement, 2016, 2017, or 2016, and then that way people can contact you there, and then that way you're not sharing your personal information, but enough information so they can contact you. So
that's awesome. I didn't know about that. I will definitely do that.
So look up Ms. Elite. When I learned to spell.
Well, I got to make I got to create
the page first. Wait until tomorrow. So wait until tomorrow.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
You've been doing pageants since you were 3. Oh my gosh, Haley, thank you. I started doing pageants when I was 16. Lisa started doing pageants when she was how old again? 2?
I think 4. No,
4?
Maybe 4. Not quite sure, but probably around 4.
Wow, yeah. So we are state title holders. I'm not doing any guessing. Right now, the way that our show works is if you are currently a title holder, and you would like to be a guest, because we have our guests on for an hour, where they come in and they talk about what they do in pageantry. If you're currently a title holder and you'd like to come on and be a guest on the show, you can actually look me up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at PageantryNOW. Or you can go to our website, which is www.pageantrynow.media.com, and you can request to be a title holder guest on the show. So, and then we'll go from there. Also, oh, awesome. Okay, so do me a favor. Send me a message. Go to our website and send me a message there, and we'll set up a date for you to be able to come on and be a guest, and then we'll talk about your experience. So that would be fantastic, Halen. So do that. Go to the website and send me a message. With that being said, I'm also going to share the Woman of Achievement website. So if you'd like more information, again, it starts at the age of 13. There is a teen pageant. All the way up through, I think our oldest competitor was 52 this year, but there's no age. I mean, there's no age limit. So, but we are put in different divisions so that we're not having a 16-year-old compete against a 50-year-old. That's not fair. So check it out. Go check it out. Be part of the system. Again, it is all about beauty from the inside out and being able to make a difference in your community, and having your platform be your passion, and that's really what Lisa and I are both about. So, Lisa, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. I really am so grateful to have you as a guest, grateful to have you as a friend, grateful to have you as a pageant sister, and I'm looking forward to helping support you through this journey and helping you grow and helping you, feel good about yourself, because at the end of the day, that's all what it should all be about. So kisses to you. I love you.
I love you too, Stacy.
All right, baby. I'll see you later. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight's show for Pageantry Now. Again, we're all about highlighting positive pageantry and the things that make pageants fun and exciting and wonderful. Grateful again to having Lisa on the show, being able to share her story and being able to share PTSD and her platform. I am grateful for all of you. Without my viewers, there's really no reason to do a show. I love you, Maddie. I love you, Sean. I miss you guys. I know everybody's been asking if we can do Wacky Wednesday again. Maybe we'll do it the week of Christmas. I've got a little bit of time off that week, and now that I've recovered a little bit from pageant, we will see if I can do it. Maybe we'll do a Wacky Wednesday. All right? Okay, the week of Christmas. I'm off that whole week, so sounds good. With that being said, my next show is going to be on Sunday. We are live streaming at the Miss Worldwide Pageant, International Pageant that is here in Miami on Sunday. It starts, I will say hi to Dad. Pageant starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know if we're going to live stream the whole pageant, but we're going to do some interviews. And some of my pageant sisters from Women Achievement are going to be joining us as well. I love you guys so much. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for being here. Without you, I don't have a show. And with that, as we always say, hashtag be kind to one another. And then hashtag Ellen. At the end of the day, it is all about being able to love and be kind to one another and be able to feel good about ourselves. And love ourselves, which is super, super important. So, yes, my love. I love you, Maddie. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. I love you. Thank you. My heart is here. Peekaboo. Burgundy. And then next Tuesday night, Burgundy will be on the show. So look for Burgundy. She has an amazing story. She's amazing and fantastic. So next Tuesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And she is fabulous. So join us next Tuesday night. So I love you guys. I will see you later. That's a wrap, guys. Good night.